Hi there, it's Natalie Sanderson, and I wanted to share with you how to understand the Unilevel, the Fast Start, and the general Doterra compensation as best I can with some examples of real-life trees. So I'm going to start by sharing our compensation plan that you can actually see on the internet if you just type it into Google, and this will come up if you type in Doterra compensation plan. So there's a couple of different ways. Doterra is really generous that you can get paid. One of the first ways is retail customer. In your back office, these will appear as little like black diamonds. And anybody who buys at retail, you actually get 25%, which is pretty good. But I'm going to tell you, I always avoid this because I don't think it's actually the best for the retail customer. I don't think they are getting the best value for their money to buy at retail. Everyone's better off buying wholesale. So when we have a look over, then we have the Fast Start. And this means that if you enroll someone like your sister or a friend, you would earn 20% of the PV, which is the product value of whatever the item is. So one of our most popular items is the Home Essentials Kit, and that is 235 PV. And often people will buy that with the fractionated coconut, which comes to 250 PV. So that means you'd earn 20% of that. So 10% of it is $25, so 20% is $50. And the person who enrolled you would earn 10%, so they would earn 25. And the person that enrolled your enroller will earn 5%, so $12.50, and so on. So then if you enroll someone, then it goes down and you then receive it in that order. And the same for the person who you enrolled, it then trickles back that way. And that goes for the first 60 days. So that's pretty simple. I think most people can gather that. The key is you must have 100 PV loyalty rewards order template set up that must go in the month that they enroll. The new person enrolls. So then we have the power of 3. So if this is you, you must have a minimum of 100 PV LRP. And then you need 3 people on your front line with a minimum of 100 PV LRP. But combined, you need to have an overall PV of 600 PV volume. So ideally, each person has 150 PV template, and that will earn you $50. That's actually US. So on conversion to Australian, it can be between, say, $63 to $67. Then blowing down from that, the next level down, you pick up a level 2. If the next people down had 3 people on their front line with 100 PV, then you would receive 250. They would receive 50. And then down to the third level where you get 1,500. I will let you know, though, this is something that I never really focus too much on. I help some people look at this when there's good potential for smaller sharers. I think this is something really important to try and have a little look at, because it can help people that would pay for their, half of their order when they're just starting out. It's a good way to think about it. So then we have our compensation plan. Now, this is one that people, when you look at the Unilevel, so it's all compensation, but when you look at the Unilevel, this is where it becomes a little bit more detailed in terms of how you get paid. So this is after people's first 60 days. So going on for the next period that they're enrolled, and it will pay up to 7 levels down, which is amazing. And it will pay up to 7 levels down. And it will also do dynamic compression. In other words, if there's somebody in the level or grouped in a team that doesn't place an order, it doesn't matter. It just skips them and rolls up to the next person. So they're looking for certain requirements from each person to be able to do this. And some people get paid very generously on Unilevel commission. And this is actually where, over time, this is what becomes one of the key components as opposed to Fast Start, when you have grown your business, and this will become residual income. So I'll explain how this happens. and there's also bonuses. So to explain this, it's probably easiest if I flip to a tree to give you an example, and I'll run through it. So this sheet that I'm showing you, you would have received in your enrollment pack. It would have been at the back of your enrollment pack, and it looks just like this. So it explains the two. So you can pull that and follow along. So I'm going to move on from this page for a moment. Stop share, and we're going to go to a new share screen. Okay, so here is an example of a leg. Now I'm going to pull down onto this person here. Now these are all being screenshots, so you can't actually see the names of anybody that's going to pop up, but it's going to give you a good example. Now, will that be the best one that I can choose for you to have a look at? Actually, I'm thinking I might head over this way. Okay, so see all these yellow, these beautiful rainbow color? That means that they're all elite, which means at some point they had a volume of 3,000 PV or more below them. All right, at elite, we know that the oils start to pay for themselves, and it just depends on whether that volume continues and how much love is given back into the tree and education and help and support. So even people who haven't ever enrolled anybody, but you may be helping people around you and sharing and explaining how to use your oils, and that's part of how our tree works across the broad spectrum and helps everyone. So, because everyone wants to know how to use their oils and likes to learn new tricks and things to benefit their health and share with others. So let's take this person here, for example. So this person here, I'm going to make up a little name for them. Let's say it is Jane. I don't even know if I've got a Jane in my tree. But anyway, we'll make it Jane. So Jane has, let's say Jane has a 200 PV order in for the month. So what will happen is the first level that it's going to look for to pay out 2% of that 200 PV is going to go to this person here, provided that they have in a 50 PV. So they don't even have to have 100, just a 50 PV. They'll receive 2% of what Jane's order is. And then the next person up is going to receive, they do have to have 100 PV order in. If they don't, it's going to skip to the next person. So the next person up is going to receive 3% of Jane's order. So we're talking a 200 PV order. So 2% is going to be $4. So it's not much, but you've got to think about the big scheme of things, because there's lots of people. You can see all these arrows. It continues down here, how it will work, and it trickles up for each person. So then the next person's getting 3%. So 3 by the 2 is going to give the $6. And then the next one up, you can see they don't actually have what looks like a PV in at the moment. So it would skip them, but you do need to check, because sometimes they might have one that's just inactive and it may come up, or there might be a credit card that hasn't processed or something along those lines. So that this is not for sure that it will skip that person, but it possibly could. And then if it skipped them, it would take the 5% and pay it out to this person here. Then the next level up, and remember that all of these people need to have 100 PV upwards. The next person it's looking for, now that person has to be at least of a director level, and a director level means 2,000 PV or more, so we can see they're elite, so that's fine. The next one's looking for, oh sorry, director is 1,000, executive is 2,000. So that's the next one it's looking for, is 2,000, and it will pay up 5% to that person. Then it will skip to the next one, and it's looking for an elite, and it will pay that person there 6% of the PV. Okay, provided that they have in 100 PV order and they actually have a volume of that month of more than 3,000 PV. Then the next level it's looking for is a premier. Okay, so if we have a look to the next level, that's not a premier, that's elite. And the other thing is they don't look like they've got an order in, so it's going to skip them. Now this purple indicates that they're a premier, correct. However, it depends if they're actually a premier that month, remember. So to be a Premier, you need a volume of 2,000 PV. So these are green ones here, mean that they've been 2,000 PV, and they were your own personal enrolment. And you also need a second leg of 2,000 PV with an overall of 5,000 PV. So 2 legs of 2,000 plus you could have a third of 1,000, or in this case, what they do is a 2,000 here and a 3,000 here, and then that can create the volume to create a Premier. However, what I'll let you know is this person here hasn't actually qualified as Premier at this point. They may still for this month, but at this point, no, because this volume here is not at 2,000. This one here exceeds 5,000, so that's fine. So overall, they'll be fine. However, this volume here doesn't meet the requirement. So it's going to skip the payment because it's looking for a current Premier, and it will come up to this person here who's a silver. Now, that person there is going to qualify, and they have all these legs along here, but within that they have a Premier qualifying leg, so they're fine, so they'll be paid out. Then it looks for the next silver. The next silver. So let's just say if she was the next silver and she didn't actually have the 3 elites under her for that month, like they had to be qualified that month, then it would skip up, but she qualifies. So then the 7% is going to come into here for the silver, you'd think, correct? But no, because she needs to be silver, and you can see that that is an elite. So that person there is not going to get paid the 7%. It's going to go up to the next level that we can't actually see on this tree. So I hope that gives you a little rundown, and that goes for each person. It just rolls up exactly like that. The different colors in here, to give you a little insight too, these lighter green ones, more lime green, are a wholesale customer, and they haven't been around for that long, but they give us a little bit more flexibility. So they can change into a wellness advocate very easily, and you can place people under them once they do that. But when they're wholesale customers like this, you can't place anybody with them. And that's up to the person to decide what they'd like to do in enrollment, but it's literally a click of the back office and they can change over at any point. I would encourage anybody thinking about that to talk to your enroller before you do that, so they can make sure you're best placed before you change, because the other opportunity that exists for the wholesale customer is that you may get your oils, learn about them, love them, start embracing them in your everyday life and think, I need to share these with other people. So at the 90-day mark, you will then be able to be transitioned. And let's say these people here might be better suited and might fit better into a team member over here. They might even live near them, that you find there's some connection that you didn't have before, or they might have gone to school. So you can connect them up. So then this person here can help them, and this person here can help them. So the beautiful thing about doTERRA is it doesn't matter what anybody within the team does, you still have the ability to grow and help as many people as you like. You're not going to be blocked at any point from somebody who's not being active. You can always surpass that and do whatever you like. So that's a beautiful thing and an opportunity for everybody. Now, is there some other things I need to teach you? So there's a basic rundown in the Unilevel from there. The other thing is there's Premier and Silver bonuses. So at a Premier and a Silver, so let's say, for example, I said before this person here is a Premier, but they haven't at this point in the month ranked in as Premier. This leg's qualified them, so surpassed what they need. This one's still a few hundred short. Now, should they enroll somebody, if they find somebody who might like some oils this month that they want to share with, there just needs to be one person that places 100 PV enrollment, a new person, and they place them in the tree, and they'd probably place them in this leg to help boost this leg up. Then what will happen is they will then be eligible if then that reaches up to 2,000 volume, and that one we already said was over 2,000, the overall make them a Premier, then they'll be eligible for the empowerment bonus. And the empowerment bonus is really awesome because it can be quite significant. I've seen it being paid probably from 200 is one of the lowest sort of areas, but generally it sits around 250 to 290 in that area. So you get an extra bonus per month just for enrolling one person. So it's quite a huge incentive. And that goes for any Premiers and any Silvers. So that's our empowerment bonus. Fast Start I spoke about before, but to give you a little rundown, let's just say, so this person here, let's call her Judy. We'll go with the J names. So Judy, let's say that Judy enrolled, so this one's Shelley, and then Shelley enrolled Kylie, okay? So Judy, Shelley, Kylie. So Judy will receive for the first, this is only in the first 60 days, so these guys are well past that because they've got quite a big leg under them, but this is just an example. So in the first 60 days, Judy will receive from Shelley the 20%, okay? And then if this is Judy's enroller, she will receive 10%, and then the next person up 5%. So then we go down. When Shelley has enrolled Kylie, 20% goes to Shelley, 10% goes to Judy, and 5% goes to this person. So that's fast start to wrap you up a little bit. And that gets paid weekly, so that's pretty cool. The Unilevel, that dynamic compression with the 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, the 7-level payout gets paid monthly. And you must maintain it up until the 15th of the following month, because that's when it's calculated. So if anything drops or anything's returned in that period, you will actually lose out on your commission for those things. So it may disqualify you if you actually return something. You had an order of 100 and you return something and it drops you down. So you need to try and keep an eye on that, and same within your team, so that can happen too. The other ones that's in here we should talk about is elephant leg. Okay, so an elephant leg. We're looking at this here. We have a silver, but we have an elite sitting above them. So what we can see here is this elite has had this person go great guns here. Now I'll let you know that is not that person's enroller. Okay, the enroller sits above here. And this person here has, when we say elephant leg, they have more than 80% in just one leg. So that's quite a disadvantage, because doTERRA will cap the amount of Unilevel that they're allowed to earn, because they're not contributing as much, and they're sitting in a very prominent position without actually going in and having many enrollments and things. So that's one thing they look at, and also non-enrolling. So if they don't enroll anybody in over 3 months, they'll also have their commission capped, and doTERRA will do that in the back office. So that's worth remembering. And these people here, because they sit by themselves, and if there's not much activity, there's not probably going to be too much growth unless somebody here ignites themselves and goes off. So you hope that the person above them helps educate them and support them and grow strong. But you can see quite a few on LRP in there. Okay. Just because some of these are not on, highlighted in this sort of fashion, like this one here or this one here, and they just look like these ones, doesn't mean that they're not ordering. They could actually be ordering and you'll still earn Unilevel from them. They could be placing one-time only orders. It's a disadvantage to them because they're missing out on points, they're missing out on the shipping back, they're missing out on the free product of the month. There's and especially this month with the US, the 200 PV special, there's so many things that they kind of miss out from that. Fast start opportunity, the empowerment bonuses, and any retail profit, all of that, that's a bit of a shame. So I'll scroll down to give you another example of a different tree. So dynamic compression, sponsored changes in personal enrollment levels. I'll talk about this. So dynamic compression, this is a little bit more of a tighter tree. So what I will say is this is one of my newer areas where we were able to work into and start building in and looking at some wholesale customers. And there's a few interesting things that we have happening here. So it's a silver, and then we have elite here, an elite here, and elite here. The person above this person is not that active. So they never obviously had 100 PV ordering, otherwise they would have gone elite when that person did too, more than likely. And that's fine. Not everybody has to. It's up to the individual what they want to do. So then we have dynamic compression, and it will just flow up exactly the same as what I was talking about. So anyone who's not ordering, it's going to skip through them. So this person here, it's going to be paid out to here. That one's not ordering, paid out to here. Not ordering, not ordering, not ordering, not ordering, next payout here. So we have an elite that's sitting there that's no longer ordering. And there can be a couple of reasons for that. One could be that they're just not really in a position where they've got time to engage, or they may have moved on with something else. And so what can happen is the volume can go a little bit quiet. But what I can say is this area down here has become very, very active. Very active, and these ones up here, if they actually had orders in, would be picking up quite a decent amount of Unilevel that would probably more than likely cover the cost of their order. Again, looking at these, this is a very, very strong leg for this person here. Now, because they don't have much volume, so even the other one that we looked at had more LRPs popping through. Because they don't have many LRPs popping through, this is what could be seen as an elephant leg again. So they'll have their commission capped, and also if they're not enrolling somebody every 3 months. So there's those things that can help. If you are becoming a little bit stuck and unsure of things, always reach out to your enroller. They can help explain a little bit deeper. And if they can't help you, just look for your nearest. Usually they say you probably want to go for a gold or a platinum or a diamond or above to try and find to help explain really fine details of this. I know before I was in those levels, I didn't actually have the full appreciation that I do now. So I'm sure they'll do the best they can, and then you may want to look out and see if you can get some extra tips on that level. Personal enrollment levels. So if we had somebody here enrolling somebody new, I would recommend that you don't place a personal enrollment ideally below 4 levels. However, we can see that this tree keeps trickling down a little bit. So in this case, what they might do is they might find that they want to keep helping the people under to help flow up the volume. Down to 7 levels is okay. If you do know that they're going to be a builder or a sharer of any kind, I wouldn't put them below 4 levels. I'd try and keep them in the top little bit because that's going to be most helpful to them, most helpful to you. As in this area, we kind of expect the ones directly above to flow down and help support, help educate, do roller bottle workshops and things like that. And reach out to those that are within their team that they're benefiting from and that they can help support. So that's why we kind of don't want to go too far deep if you think that they might share of some sort. Okay, and I'll roll down a little bit more. Now this one here, I've got some points. Yeah, you can see in here we've got a lot of green, hey? So a lot of green in here, which means a lot of wholesale customers. And so the advantage with this one is, like I said before, on the 90-day moves, all of these greens can be shifted around. And you can place these like on your, I would place them no deeper than say 7 levels. So around 5, 6, 7 level, I'd place them in there because we know that the Unilevel is going to blow up and help. And you usually go in and you look for somebody who has an LRP set. That's one thing that I would look for. And isn't loving their oils and enjoying it. Those are 2 key things that you sort of look for. And if they've enrolled anybody, that's how you also know where to place them and who to put them with, aside from any relationship that they might have. So if there was any connection, that person should actually be the enroller. If they were the host of a class or they introduced you, that's what you would do. The power of 3 opportunities for small sharers. So when they're a smaller team or just building, it's really neat to try and look for the option for them to get power of 3, mainly because that can help pay for their order and make everything a little bit sustainable for them while they're getting off the ground. However, I would not stack a whole lot on one front line. Now you can see there's a whole lot in this front line, a whole lot in this front line. However, they're mainly all wholesale customers. So we know at the 90-day mark, we've got opportunities to move those around depending on what comes of them. So it's a new way to help the tree best. Otherwise, this would go quite deep. If you can imagine, we stuck that all in a line. And yeah, so looking at this one here, I was looking earlier. So we have this person here. They have over 100 PV order in. They've ranked elite before. And this person here has in over 100 PV order. And this person here has in over 100 PV order. And this person here has in over 100 PV order. And so does this person. But what I will tell you, this person here is new. Okay, so we can't count them for power of 3. They need to be after their first month. They need to be on an LRP. So this person's on an LRP, LRP, LRP. Okay, awesome, right? But this one here looks like they've placed a one-time only order. If that has actually changed over to an LRP, then that person there is going to pick up the power of 3, which would be amazing for them because they've never had it before. At this point, when we look at this flow, what you could do is, because it's a new person here and they've kind of not understood fully, and when they've placed their order, you can reach out to customer service and see if they will assist and help change over to make it into a LRP. But I wouldn't expect that all the time. Like, you can't do that month after month. And you remember that you can cancel your LRP at any time without any penalties at all. So LRP stands for Loyalty Rewards Program. I've sort of skipped over that, presuming that many people understand that already. Loyalty Rewards Program gives you all the benefits of your points, your shipping back, the promotion of the month, ability to earn fast start and Unilevel. There's a whole flow of things that are incorporated, and that's the way that I'd say majority of people actually purchase, say 90% of those who are in the team, because it helps the most. And you can simply cancel by sending an email, you can use chat, or you can call in, and you can stop it at any time. What it will do is it'll trigger an automatic order for the following month, and I just use it as a wish list, and I'll change over what I'm looking for or what I need to update within my home. And you can change the date that it ships, whatever suits you, and you will actually be sent an email reminder that it's going to go through, so you don't forget to change anything over. But usually as soon as mine processes, I change it over to what I want coming up for the next month, so it's not an issue. Okay, so I think it covers that one, the wholesale customer 90 days power of 3. All right, so this is here, I want to talk to you about beautiful teamwork. Okay, so I have this person here, and they're in a premier position, and they could have actually gone silver. Look, there's 1, 2, 3 legs. Actually, there's a 4th one there at the moment now too. So what I want to highlight to you is, when you have communication within your team, and I've asked this person, did they want to go silver? I said to them, do you want to go silver? Is this something you would like to do? Now, this was one of the few people that I've asked this to who actually said, oh no, I see a different thing. Like, I'd really love using my oils, but I don't actually want to go silver. Which means that at this point that I want to have to dedicate that amount of time to push themselves to go to silver, which is fine. They're happy at Premier. That's a really neat position to be in. They can still pick up empowerment bonus essentially. And yeah, they'll still pick up a very nice amount of Unilevel. So what the lovely thing is for this person then is, we then spoke and said, well, this person here really wants to go silver. They've actually got dreams well beyond that. So would you be able to help them? And this conversation's been very open and frank and keeping good communication within the team the whole time. I know that you never actually enrolled this person, but you know, they're part of your beautiful team. And would you be open to helping them in a way, because originally the first conversation was to help them get to Premier. Would you be open to helping them to get? Yeah. And the answer was yes. I will. I'll reach out to my enrollments, the few enrollments that I've got there, and see if any are interested in, you know, ordering a couple of extra things the month that they were trying to go Premier. Okay, so that there really, really highlighted to me and touched my heart that they were willing, even though that they knew they were already picking up, you know, a good amount of Unilevel. They didn't need to do any other work, but they were willing to come and help out this person here because they knew that was what they were aspiring to. And second of all, they could see all the hard work that this person was doing, and they wanted to jump in and help them. So, and it wasn't a hard task. All they did is they had to reach out to the couple of people that they enrolled and see if they wanted to get anything new and how they were going and so forth. So that's lovely. And then flowing on from that, ended up helping this person, you know, along the way when they were hitting silver. So now this person has outranked them, and it's a beautiful sort of setup that we have going on here. I really like how this is flowing. Now, what I have mentioned to this person up here is they're picking up a beautiful amount of Unilevel up here, but then I also think that they probably need to work on here, and they've enrolled somebody this month. And in fact, they enrolled someone just by giving some samples. And these samples can happen over a long period. Like you might give them out in 1 month, and it could take a while. But always follow up, because people forget. And I know that I'll think about things that I want to buy, but then I'll forget to go back or forget to check in. So just touch base. And I even have said to some people in the past, you know, do you want me to keep contacting you? I know that you said that you aren't ready just yet, but I don't want to annoy you, so let me know. I won't contact you if you prefer not. That's totally fine. So you can have those really open conversations, so you don't have to feel awkward or like you need to keep contacting someone who may not be interested. And I would say too, if you're the first warm circle people go to are their friends and family, and I do that with a really genuine heart, in terms of I know that the oils work and there's things that I've found so effective in my family, I could not want to share them with others. So I have to tell them because they should have been in our lives earlier. Okay, so that's where I sort of come from with that point of view. If they don't, you know, seem that interested, I'm not going to have a conversation with them every time I see them about that. However, I will check in and hope that they're still using them, or, you know, and so forth. So it's really up to the individual where they take it. So the new thing that this person we've sort of looked at, because they're now moving into more of a baby sort of sharer scenario, that they need 3 on LRP on their front line that are over 100 PV. Now this person here is an over 100 PV LRP. So ideally, they would have another person. So they had a new person join, which may stay there, and they may drop back into one of the other legs. If this person was close to ranking up to the next level, I'd probably suggest that and ask them if they would consider that. However, at this point in time, they may actually just be better keeping them there. Now, with sponsor changes, I kind of missed sponsor changes. So sponsor changes, you have 2 options. One is you can actually put the sponsor in at the time of enrollment. I usually like to do that because then you're really thinking in forefront where to place somebody and where it's going to be most benefit, also who they suit most, where they're local to, where they're going to get support. And I like to put it in then, okay? Because then you then get a second chance to move them also. If you go into your team tab, there's a sponsor changes button in there that you can click on, and then you can change the sponsor changes, but only within the first, well, I like to remember it as first 12 days because otherwise you might run into overtime. But I would say even the first 10, like try not to move it after that because you might forget. And if I scroll back up, I'm going to tell you that we have had that scenario. See this tree here? This poor person here has nobody under them at all because they were forgotten to be moved. And I feel it's a little bit unfortunate for them because there's nothing that flows up for them, nothing that they're not connected to any team. And it would be ideal if they were, because then they would be picking up a little bit of Unilevel and things because they regularly put in an order. But you know, that was just a mistake, and you have learning things happen all the way along. Many of my legs, if we had a look down, if I could go deeper past this. So this is tight and compact. There's no arrows down here, right? But up here, the arrows and arrows could go for a long way down. Like, look at all of these, lots of arrows down. So this is a learning curve. Ideally, I wouldn't have it quite that way now anymore. But I hope that helped at all. And any questions, I'd love to help you. So just send me a message and yeah, get out there and start sharing the love. And yeah, there's definitely opportunity to grow and earn some really decent amount of income from this. So it's well surpassed any expectations that I had personally. And you will see that they sort of double in each rank. So we look at first, say silver, they say it's around 2,000, 2,200 in that sort of vicinity. Then it jumps to almost double each rank. So then gold's around 5,000 per month. I'm talking about per month, dollar amount into your bank. So, and then the next amount is 10,000. So that's for platinum. Jumping from there, it then goes up to approximately about 20,000, maybe a little bit more in that vicinity for a diamond per month. Then it jumps up to blue diamond, again doubles, and continues to get even better for the presidential diamonds. So, and there's other bonuses that kick in at that level. So very, very abundant and not difficult. I can see that, you know what, I feel just so blessed when I look through all of this and can see all the people that it's actually made a difference for, that it's trickling, and those who are consistent, those who do a little bit of work and reaching out in the 2x2 by 2 by 1. And if you don't know what that is, have a little look. But it's like making 2 contacts with somebody, making 2 samples with somebody, doing follow-up with 2 people who are already enrolled. These are very simple things. So even if you're very, very new, these are things you can start with. That will make an impact. If you can only do it once a week, but if you do it daily, that's going to be huge. And the flow on is going to be beautiful. So yeah, I hope you all reach what you are aspiring to, and set your goals, manifest, write it down, and it will come to you. Just believe it will happen. Okay, I'll leave it there. See you all later.